get things going. A double check over here. Well, we got to check our look and everything, you know. Let's see if I can find this as well.
Ooh,
Whoa.
Jeez,
whoa,
Brian.
Brian.
Here we
Could be
go.
anywhere.
Oh my.
Yeah, we're just getting ready, everybody. So we'll be starting in a second.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I could be on the island.
Ooh,
Ooh, I like that.
Let's see. Are we?
Now you're making me jealous, Brian.
Right?
I don't see it live yet. Does anybody else see it live?
Um,
Um,
yes, yeah, I do. It just popped up on my phone, so
just popped up.
yeah, we're live.
we're live.
We're
We're
live.
live.
Oh, woohoo! All right, let's see this. All right. Okay, got to turn down the volume over here. And I'm going to share this. Huh. Is that who I shared it with? Well, I'm not sure what I just did. Anyway, I think we're ready to go. Welcome everybody to Planetary Gig Talk Live. We're going to be talking about music camps, programs for youth. I'm Jefferson Glassie, Chief Spiritual Dude of the Planetary Gig Society, whose mission is creating unity through music, or as I like to say, making connections through music with the intention of bringing peace. And really excited about this conversation today with some folks that I've never met in person, but we've become good friends in the Zoom pandemic. We've all been to Victor Wooten's uh, Wooten Woods camps, some of us in person, but some of us just virtually. So let me introduce our esteemed panel here. First, from way out west in Arizona, great person, wonderful, leader with their 25-year plan. Annie Beach. Annie, hey, how you doing? Thanks so much for being with us.
I'm doing great. I can never get over here. We all are. And like that, I'm way out Chandler, Arizona. I could just hug all of you. I feel like I know you so well because we've been meeting like this, for almost a year now.
Right.
In some way, going to camp and just being up close and personal. It's wonderful. I have a band, a huge band of bluegrass young players, mostly young, but they've also grown up into college and adults, called Jam Pack Blues and Grass Neighborhood Band. And my focus today, as we talk, will be a little bit different, maybe, because I don't run a camp. It's like one big camp all the time.
Great.
Anyway, I'm happy to be here.
Can't wait to hear more about it. And then from up north, who is with, sort of works with, sponsors the Girls Rock Camp Toronto in Canada. Great musician, fabulous person, Lulu. Liz, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jefferson. Thanks, Jefferson, for having us all here. It's a great topic. I have been a volunteer with Girls Rock Camp Toronto probably since 2013, I think. And I am so I'm a bass and guitar instructor for them. And I'm also a band coach, and I do a bunch of other stuff as well. But Girls Rock Camp is an organization that's run for youth 8 to 16 years old. And that includes, transgender, non-binary folks as well, because it's a very inclusive organization, which deals with music, which deals with music creation, instruction. We by the end of the week they play a song. They write and within their bands create a song and they perform it to their family at the end of the week. And but that's actually just one type of camp. There's various programs. It's an amazing, like I said, very inclusive organization. It's all about empowering girls, and it's also a huge movement. Girls Rock Toronto is just a part of a global movement. There's girls rocks all over, especially around the States and Canada. There's so many, but they're in South America and Europe. And it really isn't just about music creation and empowerment. It's also a lot of social justice issues, right? So it's really just like you, Jefferson, with Planetary Gigs. It's about changing the world through music.
Mm,
So,
wow, that's so great. So we can't wait to hear more about that. And finally, our man from the islands, um, he's actually in, I think, in Takoma Park. He's in Maryland, just, not too far from me. And so Brian Weber, thanks so much for coming on and talking about your Takoma Groove Camp.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. I'm not in my typical location. Hopefully my connection is okay. Can you guys hear me all right?
yeah,
Yes.
We see you.
that's
Is
clear.
the wind is blowing a little bit, but I think we can.
All right. Yeah, yeah. Again, thank you for having me on. Yeah, I'm here to talk with Liz and Annie and Jefferson about Tacoma Groove Camp. That's my camp that have I direct, co-founded. This is our 16th year that we'll be getting into. It's a camp where we basically give campers the space to be creative, to let their creative talents shine and collaborate with like-minded peers, to compose original music, learn about musicianship, improvisational skills, and then we ultimately put on a show at the end of the week. After they've written all their music and practice it for the week and everything, we put on a little show on Fridays, and we've been running this in the summer for, like I said, about 16 years this year, um, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
Well, I feel like I want to go to this Tacoma Groove Camp myself. But just a tad bit of context, if you believe, music can make a difference in your life and with other people's lives, and if you sort of believe that a person can make a difference, well, then I think you just got to really be rooting for young people, and trying to give them every opportunity that they can have, maybe that I didn't have or didn't take when I was that age, because I believe in the young people. I believe that they can change the world for the better, that they will change the world for the better, and what better path than music. So maybe we could start off, Annie, and you could just talk a little bit about Jam Pack, how it got started, and what you do, and can't wait to hear about it.
Okay, thanks. 1994, I was a substitute teacher here in Chandler. I didn't have to work too much anymore. And I was about 50 years old and I was trying to learn the mandolin. And I drag it to every school I went to. And then I got involved in bluegrass. I finally got a teacher and I loved the old time music. And so I would start playing and doing songs and things every class, whether it was chemistry or preschool or Spanish class or whatever. I did that, and some little guys came down to visit me after school, and they wanted to do more music. And I talked to Mr. Beach, and he was a jazz musician in the Air Force for 22 years and retired. And he said, yeah, why not? So I got 6 little kids in the front yard. And that's what I want to stress today. You will hear some very organized things. Mine's very organized now at 27, 30 longtime band members. We meet every week, we go perform and all of that. but very simple to get out there and teach something to children. They're hungry for it. And that's what I think of everything. It gives children a purpose, a sense of belonging. They know that they're making people happy. That's Gem Pack's entire goal, one goal, make people happy and ourselves with our music. So to that end, we learn to sing and play um, simple songs in the beginning. You Are My Sunshine, This Little Light of Mine, Shortened Bread, This Land Is Your Land, which I hope Brian will be able to show you a little bit, that we had to learn on Zoom. But normally we're back together and everybody is hugging and with their masks, these little kids, and they're so happy. And we survived because of Zoom. You know, we were not cut off all year. I never went anywhere for a year, nor had them here. But I think with music, I mean, I can't say enough about the unifying thing that comes about with all kinds of people, races, genders, mixed genders, whatever. I don't even know all the words for it, Liz. You mentioned some, but we have everybody and everybody has a place here. Every band member is important, whether they're great or not. And so I've even, most of you have this. I finally put a little book together about how do you do this? How do you create a music community and keep it going years and years? Because some of my original band members from 1994 are still involved one way or the other. Now they're teaching the new people. But that's what I see as music. I'm going to call her now. I've learned that new terminology through Victor Wooten's book, that she does bring us together. And yesterday I was even asking the older children, what makes you the most happy? Just stop right now. What makes you the most happy? One thought, my family and my friends. Another, listening to music. And our young bass player, she said, just being together and playing music. So that's my spiel.
It's so great. I mean, I'm inspired by what you've done for all these years. So let's go in the way back machine to 2017 or 2018. What would be some of the highlights of your year? You would meet every twice a week, and then you would teach songs, and then you went on some to some bluegrass festivals and things like that. Tell us a little bit about, before the
Okay.
pandemic, what
yeah.
you were doing with all these kids.
It was nonstop, almost every day. But we met twice a week. They would come after school or as soon as they got out. Maybe it'd last till 6, 7 o'clock at night. And we would gather. My house is, what can you see it? That's the kitchen. But the rest of it looks the same. Instruments, the whole thing is music. So very small house, about 1,000 square feet. And we squeeze 20, 25 people in for practice. And we would meet in a group with everybody. The young people would direct it. Most of the time I'm out running around picking people up because they don't have transportation. But we would play, then we would split off into small bands. They're organized into small bands. And then they do that, or they would have lessons. Right now that we're just coming back, we're only meeting once a week. But back then, we were involved in festivals all the time. Bluegrass, that's festivals is a big thing. So you have, we would have set festivals during the year, and we usually be invited to those. We all get in the motorhome, about 20 of us at least, and go to the festivals and set up camp. And that's what our life was like all the time. And then during the pandemic, I I didn't even know how to do technology, not one bit. I still don't even have the phone thing. I have my flip phone wherever it is. And so I had to say, okay, this isn't going away. I've got to learn Zoom. That's what people recommended. And people helped me until I was able to do it and bring the band members together every week. And then also some of them taught other kids on Zoom. So that's what our life. But before that, we play for people all the time. That's our mission. And parties. We love parties. So we have a party at the drop of a hat.
So awesome. Any questions or anything for Annie? And we can go on next to Liz if ready to do that. Oh wait, we got to
Do
play
you have a video?
we have the video, right? We have the video.
Oh, do you have it? Don't show the whole thing just because it's long. What's for?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to I'm gonna pull up your YouTube video. This land is your land. I apologize if my connection is bad. Maybe we'll come back to the video. I
Okay.
did I did forward it over to Liz actually, just in case
Oh.
just in case my connection does
Okay.
not want to play it. I apologize.
Yeah, no problem. You know, we have I'm not sure we're a crack team of Zoom
Of
folks,
course we are.
but certainly, you know, Liz and Brian helped me get the Concerts for Democracy going off the ground,
Yeah.
and we really learned so much. And you know that you know there's a lot of facility with these with this platform. It may not always be perfect in terms of sound or video, but it's pretty good.
And I'm in a spot that I'm not normally in, so the connection's a little rough. Looks like it's loading. Let's just try hitting play. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Because like I said, it'll just give an idea of who we have in our band and who got to Zoom and how we did that.
It's just so amazing and so awesome that you've been doing this for so many years, such dedication, and you know it really makes a difference in the lives
Oh,
of these
absolutely. Music and the way we do it is life-changing because it does create this kind of community. And so we're all intertwined, the parents, and there's only one boss, so that's me. Yeah, I don't have anybody. We just, and everybody behaves. I don't have to do anything
I was
except
able to
pick
pull
up
it
trash.
up, Brian.
Liz, can you
Yeah, Liz, if you I
you
did
get-
forward you the email, Liz. If you
Yeah, I have it ready to go, so I'm just
oh,
going to share my screen. If you can,
please do.
I'll
Thank
share
you.
yours. We're going to give this
Okay.
a try. But that's something Annie said earlier. You know, when she first started, that she just put it together. And a lot of times, what I find, just like what's happening right now, is to put together a camp, you have to improvise.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so like just like this, we're improvising at the moment. And how come I can't see it? It's on my desktop.
it's just like music, you have to improvise
Just-
the music.
Yeah.
You gotta
Exactly. So
play the song. Things don't always work out.
why isn't, oh, maybe
Are
it's
you going to get it? If not, I'm going to show you quickly. This is what we played for 4 years when we started. We
Wow.
got a kit, built them, copped the idea and had somebody create the sticks. And it, that's what we played. So very simple.
Yeah.
awesome.
You call it a canjo, don't you?
Yes.
A
Yes.
canjo.
It's telling me to open system preferences, and it's not.
Looks like I'm gonna try again just because it looks like the video actually loaded on my end. We'll see if it plays.
All right. Oh, there it is.
At least you can see it.
Yeah, let's see if
There you
it'll
go.
hit.
Everybody, this is the jam-packed blues and grass neighborhood band, and we will be performing a new song called "This Land Is Your Land," written by Woody Guthrie. Please sing along.
Roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me.
That's good.
So what's so amazing about this also is they had, because they all can't be playing obviously on Zoom at the same time, that just the latency won't allow it. It'd be kind of a train wreck in a sense, but they all know how to, they got
Yeah.
to turn on when they're playing and turn off, and otherwise it's so great.
Thank you. Yeah, that was such a, and a lot of the older kids did not want to do Zoom. That's why there's not as many in there. They just didn't like it. They didn't want to be on camera like that. But the younger ones, and then there were a few older ones in there, but the younger ones showed up every time.
That's
But that
awesome.
song was for you, Jefferson.
Thank
That
you.
was our song for democracy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All righty. Liz, you want to tell us about Girls Rock Camp Toronto?
Sure. So yeah, as I mentioned in the intro, it's a worldwide organization, and yeah. So what I'm going to do is I actually have some slides, and I'm going to take you through what a week at camp looks like. Now, this year is the first time we are going to be running a virtual camp, and I'm going to be applying some of the lessons learned from Brian's virtual camp last year. When I believe they ran like I had asked Brian for tips because we're going into completely new territory now. So this is great. Like even just what you showed us now, Annie, that's a great idea for being able to create music together. You don't have to be playing at exactly the same time. Everybody can take the lead, right? So just trying to find creative ways to take what works so successfully in person, because Girls Rock Toronto has been together or has been in existence since 2010 now. So, and it's been even though every camp there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Sometimes sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes sometimes some kids have some emotional stuff going on. There's like always stuff happening, but it always comes together at the end, right? So and that's what's incredible about it. And I think that's what's going to happen this year when we do the virtual camps. Very super excited about that. We're still in the planning phases right now to see what that looks like. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share oh, actually, I don't even think I can, which is interesting. Yeah, for some reason, my sharing, I have to do a whole bunch of stuff in the settings. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through my slides or just have a look at them. But I don't think I can share them, which is too bad because there are really some really cool pictures. Let me just see. Yeah, so I can't share it for some reason. But basically at the start of the week, actually maybe Brian, if you can, no, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try one more thing and then
If
uh
you want, Liz, if you wanted to try sending stuff to me quickly, I can see if I can share on my end while you
Or
talk
send
about
it
it.
to me.
Or
huh.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's a keynote.
Mm.
File save. Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Haven't run Keynote in a while.
Yeah, every time I go to sharing, it's telling me that I need to do some stuff in my system's preferences. This is open system preferences and allow apps, and it's not letting me. 1 second.
Mm.
Screen. Just give me 2 seconds.
Sure
Okay.
thing.
Camera.
Yeah, well, I think this is one thing we've also learned with Zoom and all these programs, and is it's not 100% perfect, and we let everything kind of just roll with it. So
That's all right.
Exactly.
That's
And
right.
yeah. Oh. Full disk access. No, it's not letting me. It's because it's my privacy settings for some reason. I bought a new laptop, so I think that's why I have to
maybe.
get all this stuff sorted out. Anyways, I'm just gonna talk about it. So what a week looks like at camp is at the start the girl, like, so basically you've got a whole bunch of 18 to 16-year-olds. Usually there could be like 30 to 40 of them for a camp, and they come in, they don't know each other. A lot of them haven't played their instrument before, and generally we break them up to they can either play bass, guitar, keyboards, or drums, and then anybody can sing as well. So they're broken up into bands. And so initially they come in, they don't know each other. And we start with a bunch of icebreakers and like get to know things. We have camp agreements where all of the young campers have to, like, so it's not us adults telling them what to do, right? It's really about empowering them to come up with their own rules for the week. It's about them, so basically what I'm saying is it's not, hey, we're trying not to make it like we're teachers or we're the adults.
Mhm.
It's really all about them coming up with everything. We put them into bands, like, so basically um, they so in the morning they always receive instrument instruction. So we have a bass instructor, guitar instructor, keyboard instructor, as well as drum instructor. So they go into their own instruments first of all. And then after that, after they've learned a little bit about their instrument, this happens every morning, like one of the first things. And then they get put into individual bands. And the bands are broken down by age group. So usually there's, a band of like 8, 9, 10 year olds put together. And then, the 12, 13, 14, and then the 15 and 16-year-olds together kind of thing. So they're put together with people in their own ages, where each band, and they, like, every band again has to come up with their own format. Like we could have a band with 3 guitars and no drums, or but we try to get a guitar, drum, keyboards, and bass together. So basically then they actually, during band time, they start writing their own song. And this is an original song where they come up with the lyrics, they come up with the melody. And so every day they have some time to craft and work on their original song after instrument instruction every day. And once they write the song, they practice, 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 so that they can get it ready for a performance at the end of the week. And the performance is on stage to their friends and family. During the week, it's not also just music creation. They do things like they create their own fanzine, they create their own merch. Like there's a silk screen class where they can create their own T-shirts. So at their show, they can sell their own merch. They have their own buttons, things like that. But they also have a whole bunch of different workshops. And as I said, Girls Rock, it's not just about music, although music is a huge part of it. They also get to attend classes on, well, even like about female bands and female um, learn about the rock history of females in rock and jazz. And they also learn about things. We usually get like a transgender person to come in, and we have a gender fabulous course where they can ask any question they want. They could feel safe, and their curiosity, and they could ask any question they want to this person. We also have body positivity workshops. So there's just so many things that these girls get to do during the week. At the end of the week, it all culminates to their big show. And sometimes it's usually at a club in downtown Toronto. For a few years, we had a partnership with the Sony Center, which is a huge a huge theater where they actually get to perform on stage in front of their friends and family. And so that's what a week looks like at camp. And it's always so incredible to see the transformation of the kids. They come in, don't know each other. A lot, some of them you see are completely shy. They're not talking at all. And then at the end of the week, you see that same kid like rocking out on stage, right? So it's just really incredible to see the changes and to see the community, to see the connection. It's been one of the most it's been one of the best things in my life for the last few years. So
Good.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's such an incredible camp in so many different ways and facets that, you can use sort of tap into music to make significant changes potentially in people's lives.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that you talked about things that you just don't hear other camps or schools or groups or anything doing, like you said, Liz, about body positivity workshops and things like that. That's just stuff that people don't usually e- ev- even if a group it accepts it, you don't find them like addressing it, and that's really wonderful.
yeah, it really is a wonderful organization. So, like I said, it is worldwide. So there, if you'd like to, register your child for one of these camps, you could find it. There's a Girls Rock Camp Alliance website, and you could find all the different camps around the world. And if there's no camp in your city, you can create a camp yourself. I think that's the whole point of this is that yeah, all of these camps are individual movements. They're all created by one or two individuals, and then all of a sudden you just get the ball rolling and you have a camp in your city. So yeah.
That's great.
Liz,
Go ahead,
um,
Annie.
I was just going to tell you that about 3 years ago, we Jam Pack played for the Girls Rock Camp in Phoenix. They have it every year as part of the Phoenix Center for the Arts.
That's
So
amazing.
it was great. All those little girls in there that were playing and everything. And then we performed some songs for them.
That's so great.
That's great. All right, so let's go to the Island Mon. Brian, can you? He didn't freeze there, did he? Can you hear me? He's in his car.
Wait
Not really.
for there he
There
is.
he is. Had a little
Back.
nap.
You want to tell us a little bit about Takoma Groove Camp, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, so Groove Camp was originally started by a friend of mine, Rob Nicholson, who at the time was in a program, I think maybe in grad school. And I remember him telling me about a book that he was reading about um, music instruction for for youths, and stuff. And that right in the foreword of the book there was something that it said something along the lines of, although we can't really recreate a true peer-on-peer music experience, dot 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 dot, here's what we'll try to teach you about anyway. And I remember him telling me that he thought that he was just grabbed by that at the first part of this book. It was like, wait a minute, why can't we recreate the
Yeah.
peer-on-peer music experience, right? um while it does happen organically, with some, um even though there's like the hindsight of a lot of people in our generation, growing up, like there's still the limitations of space, where people might not have a space, to go hang out, or maybe there's noise restrictions, or parents just can't have the noise in the basement of a rock band practicing and stuff, so that's why where camp was kind of born, was let's recreate the peer on peer music experience and give give these young musicians a place and a space to be creative, create music. And it was originally started as a combo camp, is what they called it. Anyone who's kind of into jazz or at all knows that, like a small group, often called a combo, and it was called combo camp. And I wasn't involved the first year, but then I came on, I believe the second year of camp, and then I think by the third year, Rob and I partnered up, and we changed the name and the location, and we called it Takoma Groove Camp, and we moved it kind of right into DC, on the cusp of Maryland and DC, in the Takoma Park neighborhood, which is a really artsy community. A lot of a lot of support and a lot of families, and creativity for music and the arts and stuff. And we got a great space at Seeker's Church in DC, and they basically give us the use of their whole building, for a few weeks in the summertime. And so we've got a bunch of different rooms. And so, like Liz was saying, basically, if I could walk you through like sort of a typical day, and then the week is, we Monday morning we have everybody meet, and we learn everyone's names, and we have everybody introduce themselves, musically. Anyone that's been to any of Victor Wooten's camps at Wooten Woods knows that that's often the first thing we do, is we, rather than just introduce ourselves with our native spoken language, we introduce ourselves musically. And so that's what we have the campers do, to just kind of break down that worry of playing music in front of other peers, and people of the same age. And then we split the campers up into bands based on levels of ability and musical interest and stuff. We want them all to have a lot of fun. So and we do have a range of abilities at camp, because we'll have campers as young as, you know, usually 11, 12. Sometimes we've had 9 and 10 year olds. I think we've even had like an 8 year old in the in the past. And we have campers as old as 17 and 18, who've been playing music for 10 years at that point, and so we don't want anyone to feel like they're held back or being dragged along. So we really kind of put them in bands, based on levels of ability and musical interest and stuff. And we do some team building exercises throughout the week, to just to get the bands working together outside of the practice room, just having to figure out challenges and and stuff. And we eat lunch together. We go outside and kick a soccer ball around or play some frisbee. Ultimate frisbee games were quite competitive for a number of years during camp. Um, and then but most of the we have guest speakers come in, as well. And I might share a couple of quick slides here in a moment and show you through some of these. And then but most of the day is the campers in with their bands and one instructor. Learning about musicianship, and how to collaborate together and play well together, and um figure out whether their band is a democracy or has a leader. Some people want to be leaders, and other people are happy to just kind of follow and be told what to play, and then then they're happy to just play. And so the bands figure out their dynamics, and how they collaborate well. But they write original music. Each band writes we always err on the side of originals. So like if a group say does 5 songs for the performance, there has to be at least 3 originals, and then they can do maybe 2 covers, or 3 originals and 1 cover, or something like that. Some weeks, the bands just decide they want to do all originals. And then yeah, at the end of the week, we have them put on a performance. We have them help set up the stage, and and run all the lines and plug everything in, and we sound check. And sometimes we have them advertise and promote the show and put out flyers, and we'll take an afternoon and we'll go hang flyers around the neighborhood and stuff like that. And it's mostly a show for family and friends, but it's open to the public, and we get a lot of people out for the shows and stuff sometimes. And it's just by the end of the week, it's absolutely amazing and incredible what these campers do, in no time. I mean, when you figure it's not till usually later in the day, Monday, by the time they're really in their bands, sitting down to practice for the first time. And then by Friday, they really need to kind of have their stuff already all done, because then we're just taking the day to set up for the show and sound check and all that. It's, 3.5 days maybe of them writing 3 and 4 and 5 original tunes, ready for performance on Friday. That's tough for a musician, no matter how long you've been playing and stuff, and for a lot of these young musicians that, have never collaborated with a group before. It's really, really, really incredible. And they have a lot of fun. If I could, yeah, let me see if I can, I'll share a couple of photos from our Takoma Groove Camp page.
It's great. So a lot of people have gone through all these camps, a lot of, young adults.
Yeah, and we have a number of so this is our website, takomagroovecamp.com, and this is the photo gallery spot. So this is just some photos. Let's see if they here we go, of just campers jamming.
Oh, wow.
And rehearsing. This camper over. Yeah, right here. This is Brendan. This is when he was a. Let's see if I can go back a sec. Oh, it's just kind of playing slides now. But Brendan was a camper, and is now actually one of our regular instructors. He came back as a junior instructor, for a year or two, kind of like once he graduated high school, and then he went off to music school, in Tennessee, and then came back, and he's now been one of our regular instructors for the last 5 or 6 years, and he's absolutely wonderful. Having gone through the experience, he really knows how to knows what it's all about and everything. So yeah, so this is the space, and this is just a lot of the campers rehearsing and stuff. And then these are some shows of the final concert. This was our original space that we were in, if it loads.
Yeah, I've been to Seeker's Church many times.
Yeah.
Great spot.
This is actually not Seeker's here, though. This was our original spot that we were in for the first couple of years, which is a Unitarian church in Silver Spring, which was a nice big space. It was a great space, and they were super kind to let us use that space as well. But the Seekers is just a much more convenient location. It's right next to a metro station, and it's walkable and busable for a lot of the campers and stuff. Stuff's taking a little bit to load here.
And so last year you did this all virtually, didn't you?
Yes, we did it virtually last year, and I think that's what we're aiming to do again this year, because last year was kind of really just not quite even a question. We just kind of had to run that way. And this year, it's the problem is, I think we could use the space, and obviously a lot of people are vaccinated, and schools are getting back into session, and we could run an in-person camp, but the one of the big issues is we would have to cap and limit the number of campers, and we've never ever done that. We've never had to turn anyone away, and that's just kind of one of my I wouldn't want to have to go, well, we can only have 10 campers this year in person and have to turn anyone away. So my thought is just run it. Thankfully we had a good year online last year. we were able to do some different stuff that we don't typically do, like recording. And it created just different songwriting challenges. Working with people online, where you can't quite play together at the same time. And so it was a neat challenge, but everybody really had a fun time. Here are some of the teachers that we've had in the past. Anthony Wellington.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
a great teacher.
yeah, he's a phenomenal teacher. Trevor Higgins, who's a local sound engineer and just audio genius. Um, we had Victor Wooten last year and Dave Welsh as guest teachers, guest instructors while we were virtual. Seth Hurwitz, who was the owner of the 930 Club, came in one day to just sort of tell stories to the campers. These are some of our your team building exercises that we do, or we do like a boardwalk and a three-legged race and blindfolded stalks, and we hang out and play frisbee and stuff. And yeah, it's
And
really a
and
wonderful time.
House of Musical Tradition sponsors it.
Yes, yeah. We've been affiliated with the House of Musical Traditions for basically the whole time. I'm a longtime instructor with them, and been affiliated with them. And so, yeah, they've always helped us advertise and been sort of sponsored for us and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So one question online, which was, I mean, what are the youngest? How young may the kids be?
We've had campers as young. I think 8 has been our youngest camper. Old is 18, 19. Typically our average age is about 13, 14. With 15 in there, kind of preteens and teens. But we've had young, and as long as as long as they can play just a little bit of an instrument, and can hang with some of the older campers. We're happy to have them young. And what's great is the older campers, whenever there is a younger camper, the older ones always kind of like take them under their wing a little bit, and really make them feel very welcome and stuff. It's not a oh, you're a little kid kind of thing. It's everybody's very, very welcoming and
That's
inclusive.
Good.
It's so amazing and inspirational, really. One of the things in Victor's new book, The Spirit of Music, that he talks about is the cycle of completing the cycle of learning or teaching.
Yeah.
You learn and you learn and you learn, and really sometimes in order to really learn, you need to teach it as well. Annie, I know that you've talked a little bit about purpose, having purpose, and that's kind of a big theme of yours. Could you talk about that a little bit more in terms of the camp and your outlook on
Sure.
life and music?
Yes, I can. And I came to that not in the beginning, but as I worked with children through the years, I could, even myself, we all want to have a purpose. That's a big word nowadays too, that I don't want to get to the end of my 25-year plan and wonder what the heck I did. What was I here for? And little children, sometimes they're just, not in my neighborhood so much are they catered to, but sometimes they just, they're just here. And I stress to them, you have a purpose already. You are a young musician. You're making people happy. That builds up confidence like, nothing. If you have a purpose, you're 5, 6 years old, you can all say, yeah, I'm going to make people happy and make me happy with my music. My mom's going to love to hear me play this song now. And so I think purpose, the overall purpose is we have a place in this world. We're here. And even from a very young age, you want to learn to be kind, to help other people, to pass on the knowledge. That's a big thing in bluegrass anyway. That's how you mostly learn, is from each other. And so somebody 8 years old learns a new chord or learns how to do something. They were yesterday, 3 of them, 2 10-year-olds and a 6-year-old. And I said, okay, they went off in their own to a mandolin and 2 guitars. and came back, and the little girl said, I got to learn a new chord today. And so not only did they were working on the break for This Land Is Your Land, but they taught her a new chord at the same time. And so that's, purpose, you're helping other people. I mean, we all want to have a purpose, don't we? But usually that's not articulated at a very young age. And I think when you have a purpose, you're going to be a little less likely to get into trouble.
Yeah, having a purpose makes a lot of difference, I think, for anyone who's any age, because
Anyway,
you may have some setbacks, or you may get off the path a little bit, but if you can come back to your purpose, it's kind of like coming back to your center in a way. I'd
right.
also like to ask, Liz and Brian, if you have anything to add about inspiration, because I guess I've thought in my life before, who could I inspire? How can you be inspiring unless you're the Beatles or Madonna or, somebody like that? But, almost anybody can inspire someone else. And it's okay also, I think, to want to inspire people,
Mhm.
even though you may feel you don't have that much to inspire them about. Sometimes just doing something is inspiring. And I think part of the reason for what we do at Planetary Gig Society and these programs is to, suggest to people, hey, you can do any of this you can do this kind of stuff too. You can do whatever you want. Look what we're doing. We're just throwing this program together and sharing screens, and Brian's in his car, and, so any thoughts about that inspiration, particularly as it relates to your camps and what you've seen from the camps?
I can
Liz?
go. Yeah, so inspiration. I feel like the thing that inspires what I've noticed is you don't have to be this huge figure to inspire people. People are generally inspired by vulnerabilities. People are inspired by people who've overcome something. When the campers come to camp, um, some of them haven't even ever touched their instrument in their entire lives. And so it's not about being this like master musician to inspire others. I think it's coming in, being able to, admit to your mistakes and being able to learn and along the way, so that I think what inspires is when people see the growth in you, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what I'm trying to say, it's kind of like even the word purpose. A lot of people are scared about that word, like they're, oh, I don't have a life purpose. But I think that sometimes if you could just sit with where you're at, and just be your authentic self. So your purpose could be just to make a difference to that one person's life,
Right.
and that's the same as inspiration. I feel like the people that inspire me most are people who are true to themselves and true to their music. Like I feel like there's you could have the most talent in the world, you could have the most beautiful voice and all that, but sometimes that's not necessarily what inspires people. Some people love people that don't have like the most beautiful voices, right? So I think everybody has their own voice, everybody is unique, everybody is an individual. And I think the more you are able to be authentic and true to yourself and share your voice, then that is what inspires. And that's what these camps are all about. It's all about getting these youth to accept where they are and who they are, accept the community around them. And I think by doing that, and again, just bringing it back to just being real, that's what inspires. So I think that's my take on inspiration.
Good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Jefferson, I think you're muted there.
Oops, making it up as we go along. That's so great, Liz. Do you have thoughts,
Yeah,
Brian?
yeah, yeah. a lot of the, the same thoughts, but um, yeah, while there are big, maybe inspirations or influences musically with like famous people, I wouldn't say that, personally, that's what, necessarily inspires me, or from what I've heard from campers and students, that inspire them. It's the people that they know, that they see on a day-to-day basis doing what they're doing. I love, there's a, kind of a saying and a thought that it's, like, if you're doing what you're doing and doing what you love, then you're already succeeding at it, that
Right.
you're already a success. Sure, you can have goals, end goals that you try to attain and stuff, but if you're doing it, day in and day out, and you're keeping up with it, then you're already successful. And I think, for people seeing, people like all of us, who are keeping music going, and and providing a place and a space for young musicians to create and get together and collaborate. I've heard time and time again from a lot of them that, that us instructors were an inspiration to them.
Right.
A lot of my past students and campers have gone on to, study music and become instructors themselves, and play music and stuff, and we've learned later that, from either them or their parents, that, we were what inspired them to do that, that they saw us doing it, and that we seemed like we love, what we're doing, and really enjoy it, and love imparting the knowledge, and that's kind of what inspired them to do it. I think when it comes to the real big stars and stuff, um, this is obviously not across the board, but there's a lot of times, there's an artist or something that you may like, and then you really kind of delve into their, their sort of personal history, and you find out they're maybe not, the best people with the best intentions, or they haven't made the best decisions. And while their music was an influence, and stuff, and their playing or their songwriting, them as people, or role models, are maybe not the best to go off of and stuff. And so, those local community members that, again, that are, they're doing it, that have good intention. I think, and intent is another good, word, kind of a synonym for purpose. As long
Right.
as you have, good intention, and you're doing what you're doing for the right reasons, and stuff, that's good inspiration. I know for me too, like, like my old music instructors and stuff, and people that I've actually met and learned from, and been able to talk to, and that are down to earth, they're the biggest inspirations for me. And that I've tried to, sort of, take their wisdom, and pass it forward.
Good.
So awesome. So we're coming up on our hour. I think we're about to wrap up, but I want to just offer anybody an opportunity to say a last word or thing that you might want to say, particularly if you want to encourage somebody out there to, do something, or whatever it is. Any last thoughts?
I do, because I
Sure.
already said it, but I want to and just encourage people, whatever age, if you play music, get a couple of other people along with you. People will donate instruments, at the drop of a hat, and make something happen. You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to know what you're doing. You get some music together. Like this is what we do: words, chords. And you start learning songs. Do what you love. Just make something happen. Okay. It doesn't, you know, start small. All the things, mine's very organized now. After all those years, the camps are organized, but you can offer what you can do to your own children or grandchildren, you know, that kind of thing. But that's my last word. Make something happen.
Cool. Thanks, Annie. Liz, anything else to?
Yeah, yeah, Annie, build it and they will come, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was not the creator of Girls Rock Camp, or and actually the two co-directors, Magali and Lish, are the people that actually created it. And I think it takes a certain personality to be a creator of one of these camps. So I think my thing is absolutely, if that's who you are, then absolutely create it. But I'd say there's also a lot of camps already in existence too. So, volunteer, be a
Yes.
part of it. To be a part of it, I think any and donate instruments. Be somebody that just helps out. There's so many different ways that you can help these camps, and most of these camps are run on their own. It's just like grassroots, small communities, right? So every camp can use all the volunteer help that they can get. So, even just a little bit of your time, donations, things like that, in whatever way you can, just help out. So
Yeah.
that's what I have to add to it. And I just wanted to thank you, Jefferson, again for inviting us and getting this whole thing together.
Thank you for sure. Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. No. Thank you for having us on today and just getting and getting the word out. Collaboration is key. In getting things going, like Annie said, it's you don't have none of this stuff is organized right off the bat. It's just kind of improvised and thrown together. It's because we want to try it, we want to do it. We see a need for it, and we do it. And networking is key. You can woodshed and practice and stuff, all you want on your own, but you got to get out there and collaborate and network. And just like us, I mean, half the people on this call, I mean, I've still only met Liz in person. I mean, I feel like I'm close friends with Jefferson and Annie, though, and
Yeah.
we've spent a lot of time together, this last year online and doing some really really cool things and collaborating in very very cool ways, getting some amazing conversations going and stuff, and yeah, we're networking. We're using the tools that are available to us, and we're getting out there and doing it. It's wonderful. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I mean, all of you inspire me, what you're doing for others, for kids. I mean, that's just so great. And I hope that some people are inspired a little bit. And I'll just end up by saying, we are trying to inspire people to think about how music can help make our lives better. We got a couple more programs I just want to mention while I have the final floor. Came out last week with a program we call Planetary Music Project. The idea is, why are there all these cooking shows like Anthony Bourdain where they go around and they, visit chefs? Why aren't there more, visiting musicians? So we just put out our 4th episode. We with Tara Linhart, who Annie knows, a fabulous bluegrass musician. We did a virtual visit to the Devi Music Ashram in Rishikesh, India. Tonight we have our 9th concert for democracy. I've had a bunch of people, as I mentioned, Liz and Brian were really instrumental in getting that off the ground. And Deg Balola, who is a fabulous blues woman,
Oh,
is
yeah.
gonna play tonight.
Really?
Democracy is not yet assured. And as Joseph Wooten says, democracy needs music and music needs democracy. So we can't let our guard down. We have to keep working on that. Finally, excuse me, 2 weeks from today, Michael Cott will be on a Planetary Gig Talk Live with a friend of his, Peter McClard, and Roy, Future Man Wooten. And the topic will be, see if I can get this right, morphogenesis and holistic tonality. So if you want to check that out and hear some amazing stuff, we'll be sending out some information about it. But, Michael is always fun to listen to and see what he's coming up with. So with that, I want to thank Annie Beach so much and Jam Pack. You're doing such great work. And Liz, can't wait to meet you in person sometime. You too, Annie. Thank you for what you do with Girls Rock. And Brian, I know we'll be seeing each other at some point soon. Maybe we could even do this, we'll get together at the hot shops or something. And all right. So thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. Namaste. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.